Hi, how do you do? You're listening to the All Youth Podcast, the show where I have the pleasure of talking to up-and-coming creatives, from musicians to journalists and everything in between. I'm your host, Luther, a cinematographer and film student from Derbyshire, currently studying in Norwich. You can find me on Instagram at LutherMEB. You can follow along with sneak peeks of the show as well as upcoming guests on Instagram at All Youth Podcast. So excited to announce that my guest today is Mr. Brad Stank. He's a Liverpool-based musician with over 22 million streams on Spotify and 200,000 monthly listeners. Bit of a chill one today, so kick back, relax, and enjoy the episode.
I like the concept. I thought it was cool. Music that you like, good music. Pleasure, especially like original. It's such an informed piece of music.
I'm here with Mr. Brad Stank. It's such a pleasure to actually sit down with you. You were saying before we even started, you were working on a little something on the computer with some music. How's your day been, man?
It's been nice so far. Yeah, thanks for having me as well.
Oh no, it's good to have you on.
Yeah, always chill. I've been doing some reading, playing some music, drinking too much coffee as always.
As always.
Yeah, smoking some ciggies out the window and stuff. Nice little day.
Yeah,
nice.
A very nice little day.
It's as nice a day can get in lockdown, I think. So.
Yeah, I mean this will probably be, fingers crossed, released in a better time. But I'm not exactly hopeful, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither. But fingers crossed, man.
What are you reading?
Oh man, I'm such a bad reader. I always have a few books on the go, but
yeah, same.
I've been reading this Raymond Chandler book today called The Long Goodbye. He's like an old 50s detective novel kind of guy.
Wow.
I've read a couple of his books before, but he's just a nice, they're kind of exciting to read, like a little murder mystery thing.
Like a Sherlock Holmes, Columbo style.
Yeah, but 50s LA noir sort of vibe.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of like a light read, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah,
no, I relate to being a bad reader as well. Having loads of books on one go. I found that audiobooks are quite good. I've been enjoying audiobooks recently.
Yeah, I've never tried that, but I feel like I'd only get more distracted with an audiobook.
Yeah, I feel doing other stuff.
Yeah, I kind of have to sit there and really focus on the book, but
yeah, I get that. Although
yeah,
it's blessing and a curse though, because you can do you do your washing up, you do your laundry to an audiobook. Yeah. Whereas a book, I feel like it takes 100% of attention, even though it doesn't always require 100% of attention. I find myself imagining the book in my head.
No, I get you. Yeah. I like a little podcast sometimes, but
little podcast. What
really
are those? I've not really come across. What's a podcast though?
Come on, you had me for half a second there. And I was playing. We're doing a podcast right now.
This is a podcast. For people that don't know you, who the hell is Brad Stank? What the fuck is a Brad Stank?
I don't know, man. He's a smelly guy.
Stanky.
Yeah. No, well, it's just me. I suppose it's my little alter ego. I wish it was my last name. Sometimes people ask me if it's my real last name.
It's a good last name.
It would be a great last name, but it's not my last name. So yeah, it's just this little guy who thinks can make sexy slow jams and stuff.
I think he can. I'm gonna be honest. I think he can really make sexy slow jams.
He's a creator of moods.
A vibe creator, if you will.
Yeah, creator of vibes, of special feelings.
Special feelings. You know it. Baby. Special feelings. I love it. You're out with a couple of albums. They've done really, really well. Sitting on Spotify very comfortably. Millions of people loving the music. Eternal Slowdown was the first release, and now we have Kinky Om.
That's right.
So a couple of albums. Do you feel like you're do you feel like you have a good grasp on Brad Stank as an alter ego?
I think so, yeah. I think I know. I think we know who he is by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I've definitely sort of went with a thing and kind of stuck to it, you know. And I don't know, like, I feel like sometimes you can get kind of bogged down feeling sort of pressure to maybe try something new or whatever. But I don't really feel the need to that much. I don't know. I saw this great interview with this guy called Infinite Bisou. Don't know if you know him.
I don't.
He's like an English songwriter. Like,
yeah,
he plays with Conan Moccasin in his band, and he's like, his album Period is like really beautiful. But he was saying in an interview, like, he doesn't really care if he makes the same album over and over again, as long as it sort of gets better every time. Which I kind of related to, because I feel like I really like the idea of sort of trying to mix spirituality with like sort of sexy stuff. And it's kind of like an endless well.
Shit, man, endless well.
Yeah, where there's so much, like, there's so many good like sort of spiritual books to read that, like, you can always like twist it somehow to like sort of
make it a little bit funky.
Yeah, I think so, and I really enjoyed doing that, and sort of playing with the meaning of different things, and you know, so a lot of the stuff has sort of double meaning to it, I guess.
Yeah.
And I like playing with that, really, and so as long as I can make like vibey stuff and stay on that sort of energy, then I guess I feel like I've sort of got it figured out, kind of. Yeah,
it feels like it. Like, your work's very, very consistent. Like, you're one of those artists that you listen to the song and you immediately know who did it. You know, if you know you, then oftentimes, like, you'll hear a song, and even you'll hear a song and be like, oh, Brad Stank would slap on that, you know, with like a little guitar lick or something like that, or just like a cheeky little gentle synth, some gentle drums. Your music is very gentle. I'd say that's also from knowing you virtually not at all, but I'd say that's also quite an accurate representation of like who you are as a person. Like, you're a very gentle, nice guy.
Yeah.
Do you think that's like an equal most of the time? Don't piss him off.
No, not like that, but yeah, I can get a bit rowdy sometimes, but not in like an angry way. But
do you think it's like an accurate mirrored representation of like who you are, or is Brad Stank as a person a little bit out there, a little bit different?
I don't know. Not too far removed, I don't think. Definitely very sort of, some would say too laid back, maybe. You know. So it's definitely like, there's definitely that kind of thing. Yeah, like sort of, I think throughout the day, I'm quite a gentle guy. But yeah, you know, like to have fun as well.
It's an equal mix.
Yeah,
I've got to say as well, I was doing my research. This is a podcast, but I am using finger bunny ear quotes because I'm an awful researcher. I hop on Google and Google names. But I have to say we've got a similarity, if I'm right about this. Did you go to Derby College back in the day?
I did go to Derby College, yeah.
Derby is my nearest home city when I'm at home. I'm from Derbyshire.
Really?
So
I'm also from Derbyshire.
Are you actually? No way.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
I thought you were a Liverpudlian.
No, I'm from Chesterfield.
Oh shit. Wow.
Yeah. Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from, how do I not give it too much away? I'm from the bottom of the Peak District.
Okay.
So
well, probably near me then.
Country vibes. We'll have to discuss off of air.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, no, that's crazy coincidence. Because I knew, because my parents saw you play at, I think it's Q2 is that
wow.
Derby's festival, and that was years ago. It was literally like 4, maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah, man. I kind of, I mean, I don't want to diss Derby really, but I don't know.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I met some nice people at college and stuff, but it's just, I thought it was kind of a bit of a boring city.
It definitely is. There's not enough going on there. So I went to college in Nottingham. I went to sixth form college in Nottingham just because of they have an infinitely better art scene, despite being only a little bit higher of a population. I mean their density is a bit better for the city centre.
Yeah,
so.
it's strange, isn't it? Like, I'm nearer to Sheffield than Derby, really, but yeah, I went there for college, And yeah, especially for music, it seems very like not much going on, you know.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, hopefully the tides will change, eh? Like, hopefully the people on the come up now who are young will do a couple of things. I've seen a couple of actions going on. Like, there's a couple great photographers coming out of Derby at the moment. There's a fantastic model who's a close friend of mine called Luke Forte, who's from Derby. So, you know, my fingers are crossed. I've moved out of Derby now for university, but, you know, I'm still emotionally tied.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I met some really good musicians there and stuff, and who were from Derby. And yeah, I enjoyed the time there, but I definitely wasn't like ever thinking about going to Derby Uni or anything, you know. I kind of like was ready to leave it behind, I think. Yeah,
no. So did you do your musical BTEC at Derby Uni and then didn't do a degree?
Yeah, so I did the BTEC at college, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was in I forget what it was called now, the building.
Is it Roundhouse?
No, it was, oh man, that's going to annoy me. I can't remember.
It'll come.
It was like a guy's name, I think. But yeah, I forget. Near a big main road. That's what I can remember about it.
It was near a big main road and it was in Derby. If you know, email us at allyouthpodcast@gmail.com. This is the hot question of the day. If you get it right, you get to solve Brad's conundrum that he has going on.
Yeah. It was, what was it, man? Oh, that's going to annoy me. We're going to have to move on because that's going to annoy me.
We'll move right on. Was it the Strutt thing? Because Jedediah Strutt was from Derby, wasn't he? He was like a mill owner.
I feel like it was Joseph something.
Oh, no. Now I've recognised the Joseph. Okay, this is not entertaining for anyone who isn't from, like, the East Midlands.
I know. You can tell I've sort of put it somewhere out of my brain.
Yeah. Like, it's
removed
gone.
It from my brain, yeah.
So from there, where did you move to? Were you doing music then? When did music come about?
Yeah, I was doing... I was writing music and stuff then, and playing drums in a band as well. Had like this little 3-piece, like basically Biffy Clyro cover band.
Oh, nice.
With these two guys, James and Elliot. That was fun. And then basically finished there and had the summer off kind of thing and went straight to Liverpool. So I've been in Liverpool for like nearly 8 years now, which is a bit crazy, but yeah, I love it. I can't really ever see myself sort of moving away.
Damn.
From Liverpool.
Liverpool is the place.
Maybe one day, but you know,
Mars or something. Jupiter.
Yeah. Why not?
Or just floating in space. You could just float in space.
Yeah, just float around. Yeah. No, yeah, I don't know. It's just I really like it. I've sort of got no reason to be anywhere else. So
yeah,
I've thought about going down to London a couple of times, but it's like 2 hours on the train. You know, like it's nicer to be in Liverpool and then maybe visit London for like music industry stuff, and then get to come back to like a nice like peaceful city kind of thing.
So you moved over to Liverpool. Am I right in saying that you first started pushing stuff out in SoundCloud?
Yeah. So I was actually Flirting in Space, especially, was a song that I made for my third year songwriting course.
Oh, cool.
And just like I was putting stuff on SoundCloud, like a few bits on SoundCloud around the time anyway.
Yeah.
So I just put it on there. And there was another song, OTD. I think OTD was first, actually.
Yeah, it's a banger. I like OTD.
Yeah, and that's like, still is just like, I just made that for my like girlfriend at the time. She was international student, so when she went away for like the summer holidays and stuff, made her this cute little song, and then just put that on SoundCloud as well. And then those two sort of like blew up a little bit. It was kind of strange. It was actually through like this girl on YouTube who has one of those sort of YouTube channels where she like uploads music and stuff, and there's a bit of
like covers.
No, it's like a sort of community thing where she like just uploads music that she finds, I guess, on SoundCloud and stuff, like sort of small artists and stuff. And yeah, one day I woke up and I saw that Flirting in Space had like a mad amount of plays on SoundCloud. And I was like, where has this come from? You know, I was really confused. And then seeing it on this YouTube channel, and yeah, it basically just went from there. It was kind of like out of the blue. I wasn't really trying to make it like a legitimate thing at the time. It was just, you know, me putting things on SoundCloud just for my own sake, really. I was playing in a band called Trudy and the Romance at the time.
As a drummer?
As a drummer, yeah. So that was, we were quite busy doing that, so that was kind of my main thing at the time, you know. And then by like, I think I left Trudy in like early 2019, because by that point it was like I wanted to sort of focus on doing the Brad Stank thing full time. So yeah, it's been a bit of like a weird random journey, but
it's like very very serendipitous journey to like get featured on a page on YouTube somewhere, and all of a sudden you got all of these new people looking at your music. For reference as well, for people listening, like Flirting in Space and OTD, I'm looking at your Spotify page right now, are still your most popular tracks. Flirting in Space, for reference, sitting at 7.5 million listens. Stupid numbers. So do you ever rationalise those? Oh yeah, and OTD's sitting at almost 7 million. Do you ever like rationalise those and like try and imagine it?
I don't know, man. It's still quite strange, like when I look at it.
It's very weird, yeah.
Yeah, to say that, obviously, like, because I like, they're all like bedroom and just sort of mixed by me and then mastered by somebody when it, like, I only got it mastered after it sort of blew up a little bit. And I was like, oh shit, maybe I could make some money putting it on Spotify or something, you know? Yeah. And then, yeah, I guess like 3 years later, they're like on, like, have these crazy amount of plays and stuff. But yeah, I guess people just like it. It's weird. Like, obviously very lucky and grateful and everything, but it's, and whoever that girl is that put me on the YouTube channel, sort of like have to give insane thanks to her.
Oh man, no, I'm sure if you carried on producing music, like, it would at some point get to that level anyway.
Well, yeah, like, I spoke about this with my friends quite a lot, really, but, you know, like, yeah, maybe, but also I think you need that maybe a little bit of luck sometimes to sort of like
bit of a push,
kick it off, you know. Yeah, and I mean, I would have been making music if it was doing, you know, whether I had like 500 plays on Spotify or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, I guess there's always the chance of like it happening. But yeah, it's weird. But I'm glad like the songs have sort of connected with people so much, and it's just me like having fun in my bedroom basically. So
yeah, and you mentioned as well, like at the beginning, all of the stuff was bedroom music. So it's, you know, produced by you, you've done it all, and then you send off to get it mixed right at the end or mastered right at the end. Yeah. Have you moved on from that? Like Kinky Om, for example. Kinky Om. Was it like more of a professional type beat, or how did that come about, and was it that different to how you started?
Yeah, quite well. I mean, it was, the end product is different. I made a lot of demos same as I made like Flirting in Space, OTD and stuff. And well, all of Eternal Slowdown is like in my bedroom basically. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to like sort of take it to the next level with the production and everything. And my friend Sam, who he plays in my band, and he produced both of the Hers records, if you know those.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
And we became quite good friends, like after the Hers stuff, after Hers like passed away and everything. Yeah. So yeah, I just thought, why not go to the studio and, you know, try and make it sound a bit nicer and stuff. So yeah, that was done in a little studio in Manchester. The vocals were still done in my bedroom, but everything else is in the studio.
It's funny you mention Hers as well, because I've always thought of Hers as sort of an anchor point of one of your key like similarities for sound, you know. So I guess that's testament to that producer in terms of how he touches music, you know, and makes it sound so similar. And rest in peace to Hers as well. Such a fantastic young band. It's always tragic to think about, you know, where artists would be had they not passed away. But I think that it's one of those things where it's like they're frozen in time, frozen in space, and they're like their music still resonates with so many people. You know, I was listening to them the other day. I was listening to Harvey the other day, and just thinking, like, it's weird that when you put out art, you're immortalized. Like, even on the internet, that's always going to be there.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Do you ever think about that with your own music?
I guess so, yeah. I guess that's sort of where part of the pressure comes in.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like once it's on Spotify, then it's sort of...
It's out there.
Or YouTube, or, you know, wherever. Then it's there until, like, the internet ends or whatever. So, yeah, that's definitely really weird. And I'm glad that Hers got to put the amount of stuff they did on Spotify and stuff. And you know, get to where they were before it happened. But yeah, like we all knew as their friends and stuff that they were gonna sort of be huge probably at some point.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like hard to deal with at the time.
Yeah, I bet.
The potential and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'll go on their Spotify sometimes and see that they've got like, you know, they're still racking up like mad plays and stuff. So that's always like really nice to see.
Yeah, it's like the monthly listens thing. Like, even though they're not around, they're not making any more music. They're not doing any promo. They're not with us, but in a way, like, so many people every month are still enjoying their music. Like, it's always touching to see. You touched on a little bit there, like pressure behind music and that sort of thing. As an artist, how do you talk about, and through what kind of lens do you deal with pressure to put things out, or pressure to perform, or pressure when you're on stage and that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think for me, being on stage is probably the easiest part.
Right.
Because that's just fun, you know. And I think, especially, like, I've made a point of not really doing any of these like sort of live stream gigs, because it's the same sort of thing. Like, once it's, I just think a gig should be between like the band and people in a room, you know. And once it's like online, then it's there for like everyone to scrutinize, or like, you know.
It's a very intimate thing.
Yeah, I've played some like bad gigs, but it didn't matter because everyone's just having fun in the room. Or, you know, you like make a mistake on stage or on the guitar, or your vocals are a bit off on a song, and it doesn't matter because everyone's just there like enjoying it, vibing, having fun. Whereas once it's online and you're doing like a live stream gig, then like one thing going wrong just like probably looks really weird and like obvious, you know.
Yeah.
But I love playing on stage. I'm really missing it. And obviously touring and meeting people and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pressure, because like the band's always really good. So I think if I trust the band, then it doesn't like, it's just fun, you know. So there's no real pressure there.
And also that's the problem with having a good band though. If you cock up, it's on you. You need to get an awful band, sack the band, get terrible musicians, then you look amazing.
No, yeah, the band carry me through all the gigs, I think.
Really? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We've played some really good gigs where like we've come off stage and been like, oh, we were really good there.
Yeah.
And there's been some where, you know, it doesn't go as 100% perfect as it could do or whatever, but you know, the people in the room normally enjoy the shows because they like the songs.
Yeah. Makes it fun.
Exactly, yeah. So like I love playing Take Me to the Crib live.
Yes.
My song Take Me to the Crib.
With that drum intro.
Yeah, because like whenever, that's always like maybe like 3/4 through the set. And like we've done a few slow ones and stuff. And then the like drums come in and like everyone's like grooving and stuff. It's really nice.
Love it. Have you got any like favourite gigs or favourite cities that you've gigged in?
Always really love going to London, to be fair. I'm like, we've played some really nice shows in Liverpool because obviously we get a lot of our friends there and stuff, and
yeah,
it's always a bit of like a
hometown.
It's like a night out as well. Like afterwards, you know, you chill with all your friends and whatever, go to the pub. But yeah, we played a show in London at, I think it was called Read On in London. I think it was October 2019. And that was probably my favourite gig we've done. Just because it was nice big room, loads of people there. You know, people coming and saying hi, and that was really, really good one, I think. They're all good, to be fair.
Yeah.
We really enjoy playing, so kind of can't wait, you know, to get back doing it.
I bet just like randomly as well. Like there was pretty much no forewarning. It was just immediately stopped.
Yeah, well, we had to cancel a couple of gigs, and last year with the album Kinky On coming out. Yeah, we were supposed to have a really busy year with festivals and going to America and stuff, which all got cancelled, obviously.
Yeah, I was about to say the American tour. I was looking at the announcement on your Instagram and I was thinking, hang on a minute, the weeks don't line up. You know, like. Yeah. But yeah. I guess that's one of those things. It's really, really unfortunate. So you had America lined up. It was going to be what, LA, New York.
Yeah, LA, New York, Chicago. I think DC was in there. San Francisco and stuff, like maybe about 7 or 8 shows, I think.
Wow.
So yeah, we would have spent like a good week or 2 there, and obviously would have been amazing. Like a lot of my listeners are in America. Like when I look on my Spotify statistics or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a mad high percentage of people is in America.
Oh, what, like majority? Interesting.
Like on the top 10 cities, I think maybe like 8 out of 10 of the cities are in America somewhere. Yeah,
that's very surprising. I wonder why that is. I mean, there's probably no point in speculating, but I wonder why that is. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I think it just, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really sure, to be fair, but it's kind of nice knowing that I've got like this little fan base over there.
Yeah. Well, and also people don't resonate with where you're from. They've never watched you perform live, but they still absolutely love your music. Like that's got to say something about your music if nothing else does. Like that alone is fantastic that you've got fans in America that have never seen you. It's like the Nick Drake effect. Yeah, he never did gigs, and still all over the world people love his music.
Yeah. No, it's really cool actually. That was why it was so exciting to be going over there, because we knew that there was probably going to be like a good amount of people at the shows and everything.
Yeah.
So kind of want to like, it would have been good to be able to take advantage of that when we were supposed to go, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that the Americans don't lose trust and interest in me before we can go again.
I'm sure they'll still love it. Like 2021, fingers crossed. 2022, probably. You know, I'm sure you'll make it happen. And
we've not started talking about it again yet because
nothing's certain at the moment.
Yeah, but hopefully, maybe next year. Hopefully.
For reference, we're recording early Feb, so everything's still up in the air. Yeah. If I could take it back to Eternal Slowdown, first album release. You mentioned pretty much all the production was just you. If you could speak to like you at the time before you even started making the album, where you were just picking up experience from doing singles, what advice would you give to yourself from a production standpoint?
Ooh, probably just to like. It's so hard because everyone, you know, there's no real like rules to it, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
If it sounds good, then
everyone's different as well.
Yeah, so like I'm still not very good at making. I don't think that the Eternal Slowdown stuff like sounds that good. Like if you listen to the like before it was mixed and everything, you know. It sounds like a bad bedroom recording, basically.
Yeah. Good job there's a market for that, though. Like, you know, Rex Orange County, early stuff.
Yeah. But just to probably watch some more YouTube videos on, like, you know, there's like a mad amount of like educational stuff on mixing on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
Which I've watched since I was doing that kind of thing, just to make my like demos sound better and everything. But yeah, I was doing a lot of like experimenting at the time, just with like random plugins on Logic and stuff. Logic is like the program that I use to record music. And yeah, just sort of messing about. And I don't know if I would have changed that really, because I didn't really know enough about production to sort of get stuck in any boxes or anything, you know. So I was just sort of going on what sounded good. So yeah, maybe tell myself to just like trust the instinct of how it sounds and stuff, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd really change it, to be fair.
I guess if you did, you'd probably end up making a completely different sound, you know. Like
exactly, yeah.
It's all about just working what you've got. Do you think that, like you mentioned, with having kind of putting yourself in a production box, do you think that there's such a thing as being like too knowledgeable with it, and all of a sudden, you know, you feel like, I don't know, like in a way, it kind of it puts you in a box, it corners you in by thinking that you can't do things, and then therefore you don't experiment with stuff?
I think so. Yeah, you've definitely got to be open-minded. Like, I think there's always there will always be a bit of a weird relationship between like sound technicians and musicians, you know, where say if a sound technician has studied, they've got really into this one thing, you know, of like way of recording something or mixing or whatever, then that obviously limits them in like what they're able to do on like a broader scale. Yeah, I think you can definitely get too like locked into like thinking, okay, this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. You know, I think because I didn't really know what I was doing, I was just making stuff sound good to my own ears, and I think that was probably, well, it's a double-edged sword, I guess. Like, I probably had more fun making it because, like, I've known people that are so obsessed with getting something to sound right that they'll never actually release a song because they're like too focused on like perfecting how it sounds or something, you know.
Yeah. Wow, I relate to that, but yeah, I think you can just want to do stuff too much, you know.
Definitely, yeah. You can get involved in like all mad frequencies and EQs and compression and all this kind of thing. But I think at the end of the day, like if the song is good, then people are going to relate to the song more than like I don't know, if you're not someone that makes music, then you don't notice how something's made as much. Do you know what I mean? Like, it matters like about the song more than the production, I guess.
Yeah, like who cares if a producer listens to it and goes, "Oh, iffy compression," or that EQ's too bass heavy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it only matters about the song itself. Like, I think as well that some of the biggest people like Bob Dylan and those sorts of artists spring to mind in terms of like not the greatest production or one mic setup and virtually no compression and a simple EQ, and the idea of the song matters more than the song itself.
100%, yeah, definitely. And like the message or the lyrics or the melodies and stuff, you know, that's gonna last a lot longer in people's minds than like what kick drum sound you used, or you know, like how you EQ'd something. Or no one really cares unless you like are a music maker or whatever. Yeah,
true.
So I guess it's just all personal preference for the person who's making the music, really.
Keep it easy, keep it informal.
Yeah, I think you've just got to let the song go at some point. Like you can spend so long mixing something or whatever, but if you think the song is actually good, then there's not actually that much need to like break you back over how it sounds, you know?
Yeah. It's got to be a good song as well to start off with. Maybe that's a good indicator of something that you're working on, that you deep down you're not happy with the concept itself. Like if you spend ages on it and you never release it, and there's loads involved in production, maybe subconsciously you just think it's not that great of a song. Like you don't like a lyric, or you don't like the way that you've recorded some drums or some guitar, you know?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe like for some people. But you know, I've known people with like really good songs who just spend too much time or so much time on the production that they forget that it's actually a good tune, and they like just get obsessed with it, and then maybe because they can't get it right, they don't put it out, or
by the time that they gig it, they're sick of it. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, you get like really sick of something, and then you end up leaving it because you're like, oh, I can't get this right or whatever. But
what's it like having
to banger.
Gig like the same songs over and over again? Do you find that you as yourself, like, you ever get sick of songs, or is that never something that even crosses your mind?
Not really, to be fair. Like sometimes if you do like a bit of a stretch of gigs, you know, you can maybe get a bit bored of like the slow ones or something. Like we used to do a cover of this song called "The Makings of You" by Curtis Mayfield, and we did this like really slow, like sort of trying to be sexy version of it. And we ended up like we did that at like our first maybe like 15 gigs, like I don't know, I can't really remember now, but and after a while we were like, okay, let's drop this song now because, you know, it got a bit tiring to play maybe. But I like playing my own songs, you know, if people are there sort of enjoying it, then that never gets boring really. So
that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, so I think for my own stuff, if people want to hear it, then obviously you play it, and if it's a good reception and stuff, then you want to play it at the next show and all that kind of thing. So.
And it keeps on rolling over.
Yeah, definitely.
We've for sure hit halfway, so we're going to take a really, really quick break, and we'll be back with Mr. Brad Stank. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for listening to the All Youth podcast. If you want to support the show and help other people like yourself find it, then you can give us a rating on iTunes or follow the show on Spotify. Also, we have Instagram. You can find teasers before the show drops over there, as well as announcements of future guests. So make sure you're following us at All Youth Podcast.
I like the concept. I thought it was cool. The music that you like, good music. Pleasure, especially like original. It's such an informed piece of music. You're human.
Boom, we're back with Brad Stank. We took a short little break. Brad went to go to the Cafe Nero's that's in his house, in his kitchen downstairs to make an expert coffee. How's the coffee?
It's good, yeah. I went for iced today.
Ooh, okay. You're feeling a little bit too warm today on the overcast.
Yeah, I just drank, you know, like
winter.
too much hot coffee. My mouth's feeling all furry, so.
Burning your mouth is up there with like one of the worst things ever.
Super annoying.
Because then it just like it's on you for the rest of the day. There's something about burning your mouth that's especially a ball ache. Anyway,
yeah, for sure.
Are you much of a coffee connoisseur then?
Well, I think I'm a wannabe.
Okay.
But
one day then.
Yeah, I do love it. I'm definitely addicted to it, and I just got like around New Year's, I think I got like an AeroPress. If you know that.
Yeah, very nice.
So that's just me and the AeroPress are connected by the
spiritually.
Brain. No, yeah. So I love coffee. Drink way too much of it. So
yeah,
I'd love to like be like a super big coffee nerd one day. I think
like know everything. Like the guys that talk about beans, you know, they know their shit. You know, they start talking about where beans are from, the climate, the altitude.
Yeah,
insane.
I love it.
It's weird that people get that into things. Do you ever think like? Because I know I probably speak for both of us where we're into plenty of different things, but it's almost fascinating to see people that are just into one thing. You know, like guys that just cycle, and cycling's their thing.
Like proper experts on something.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. It is like a bit scary.
Or like they're gamers, and that's what they do. They just game.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool. It shows you how much potential there is in everybody.
Yeah,
for
true.
Doing like random stuff. You know, like whatever you want to get super into. You can be like a master of something if you put the time in, you know.
I guess that's promoted these days though, like with work, like especially I'm sure you're the same, like at school, they'd always be like, you need to kind of pick something as a career and that's your career for life. Whereas before, you know, I mean, ages ago we were like running around naked picking berries, and then we started being like, you know, I'll catch fish in the day, sell that at the market, and in the evening I'll make rugs for people. Yeah. You know, like people didn't have careers, they just had jobs, whereas now you kind of pick one thing and you got to stick with it. That's your thing.
Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah,
it's weird.
I want to get into like spinning pottery at some point, I think.
Oh yeah, I've seen that on Instagram. A couple people like.
Yeah, but then you see people that do it for like
table.
12 hours a day and they're amazing at it, and it's like, oh, maybe I should just focus on what I'm supposed to be doing, which is music.
My question is, how good can a pot get though? If you're spending 12 hours, how good is that pot going to be as opposed to the 10th hour into that pot? You know, I
mean, that's how I see music. How good's a song going to be after like 30 minutes of trying to write?
yeah. After a while, like the exponential growth doesn't continue.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I wonder what the barrier for entry is like for pottery. You know, you gotta buy a table, buy some of that glump that eventually makes a pot. What's it called?
Clay.
That's awful. I'm so sorry. Clay. You're right. That is what it's called. It's clay. Yeah. It is just clay.
Wet clay, I think.
It's clay plus water. That is all it is. I think that's it, right? Oh no, because you have to fire the pots. You can't just leave them. They don't just turn into pots.
You got to paint it. You
glaze it. You got to have one of those rods where like you put it in and you like rotate it and shit.
Yeah, I think if I'm gonna get into something else like deeply, I think that would be what I get into. To be fair,
pottery. Yeah,
just seems very like soothing thing to do.
It's on brand as well. I could see, like, you know, the photo you used for the album cover for Kinky Om. I could see you with the pottery table, you know, cross-legged. You got a guitar on one side, pottery table on the other.
Maybe that could be the next album cover, to be fair.
A little pottery vibe.
Yeah, me do it like spinning some clay.
It's very sensual. Very sensual.
And the lady in the back somewhere.
That might get banned off of Spotify. I don't know how much you're allowed on Spotify album covers.
Yeah, I might actually do that. No, I don't know. We'll
do
see.
it. Yeah, next music video idea as well. That kind of reminds me of. Have you heard of a band called Death Grips?
Yeah.
They have one of their album covers is phallocentric. It is a penis.
Oh, is it?
It is.
I think I've seen that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets blurred out on like streaming platforms.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the non-censored version, I think.
Underwhelming. It is just a penis.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brave move.
It is.
Do we know whose penis it is?
I think it was one of the band members. I'm not sure, to be honest. I think it's their because there's two guys. There's one that's like the vocal and one that does like the drums and the synth.
Maybe it's a legendary shout. I don't know, but
maybe it's a random person. They just take it.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I think we'll meet halfway and go the pottery route. I think
central pottery vibes.
Yeah.
Love it. Am I going to get? I better get some commission from this then, because you know, as the originator of the idea.
Yeah. I'll give you. I'll give you a credit on the back.
A credit? You know what? I'll take a credit. I'll take a credit on the Brad Stank album. That is, I'm more than happy with the credit.
Yeah, man.
There we go. Speaking of music videos, did you like my transition there? Extremely sweet.
Good. Very
extremely sweet. Speaking of music videos, you've done them. You've got them. Have you got any music video anecdotes? What have been some of your favourite music videos to do? What's it like to work on your own music video as well? Do you take like a directorial vision, or do you let the people do what they're gonna do?
Well, the first video that I put out was for my song OTD.
Yes.
Which was sort of my idea, and then I got like quite a few of 4 or 5 of my mates, I think, in like my friend's house, and we shot the whole thing in there, but it was like very DIY. We were using we had like a nice camera, but then we were using like iPhone lights and stuff with like coloured film over it, you know, like you probably know what it's called, like the gel stuff or whatever.
That's nowadays it's just called a gel. Yeah,
so we were using those over like iPhone lights and stuff, and sort of moving the lights around, and we just did it that way. So that was all like, I think I edited that as well, did I think? Yeah. So that was all like, you know, very handmade sort of vibe.
Yeah.
But then after that, every video I've done since that has been done with my flatmate Corey, who's in the next room, who you could hear talking before.
Shout out to Corey.
Shout out to Corey. So yeah, he did the Condemned to be Freaky video, Water in the Garden, and She Was a Tease. And that stuff normally just involves me and him having a chat of like what we want it to be. I remember the Condemned to be Freaky video, the first one. I found this old video of, I forget the song now, but it's this old like 60s French video where there's sort of 4 women on this rooftop just like dancing and stuff. And I was just like, let's just rip this off. So yeah, we used that, and then he did his like, he put his stamp on it kind of thing. And then yeah, the Water in the Garden video was kind of easy to do because it's just about water in the garden. So we found this place in the Wirral, which is near Liverpool, kind of. This like big sort of botanical garden thing.
Yeah.
And had like the girls in like little flowery outfits and stuff, and everyone dressed up as a flower. And yeah, I think once you've got like the basic idea for something, it's sort of, me and Corey usually just sort of stem from that, you know, and chat about it, and then he sort of directs everything on the day. Yeah, the Water in the Garden one was really fun, actually. It was like the hottest day of the year. It was like 32 degrees or something.
Jesus.
And we were all just absolutely fucked afterwards. It was like, I think we all had sunstroke. That was really fun to film. Yeah, I like doing a music video. I don't really watch that many music videos though. So I don't really know, like, it's a weird one with music videos. I always just like something that just sort of accompanies the tune, you know, like I've sort of spoken to like directors and stuff in the past who have been like, oh, I've got this treatment for your song and stuff, and it's all this mad crazy stuff, like storylines and everything, and I'm just always like, oh, I just want something like visually nice to go with the song, you know.
Yeah. No, I relate to that. I think when you watch like The Weeknd music videos and like big pop artists, and there's like multiple different storylines going on, and they're awful every single time.
Yeah,
like
they're
it's
like
the
mad, like short films or something.
Guy chasing the girl through a dance floor, JLS style.
Yeah,
you know, that sort of thing.
To be fair, I think doing that kind of thing would be fun at some point. I think maybe, but you know, I like it when you get like, especially in that old sort of like noughties videos as well, sort of like the hip hop videos and stuff where the song cuts like halfway through and they're like chatting or whatever. You know, there's like a piece of the, I don't know what it is.
I always thought that was to avoid because obviously back then people were just putting it on what was that website called? It was like pre-streaming Napster. Like to avoid getting ripped off on Napster, they'd always like break the song up in the middle or have like a really long interlude where it's like, and it was always so like uncreative as well. Uncreative, is that a word? Not very creative.
Yeah,
they just like dolly
dialogues
out of a radio or some dialogue, yeah, something like that, and then the radio would start playing the song.
I saw this mad one the other day because, well, actually going back to hers, they always used to cover "She's the One" by Robbie Williams on stage. And me and my friend were just like singing it, playing it the other day. That Robbie Williams song. And I was like, I kind of want to do like a proper cover of it on my computer, because I was thinking of like, I've been doing a few covers recently with like a few friends and stuff, just for fun. So I was going to do Robbie Williams' "She's the One." And so I watched the music video, and there's like a mad bit in the middle where it's just a scene with him and his girlfriend like ice skating for like 2 minutes.
Love it.
And then it like goes back into the song. But yeah, that makes sense that they were doing it for like to stop people ripping it off streaming and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think why anyone else would do. It's weird how that entirely pretty much went away, like the illegal music scene. You know, like Spotify pretty much crushed, and Apple Music. and SoundCloud pretty much just crushed that entire black market of music.
Yeah, for sure. I think
Films is still going about. People still pirate films, you know, especially if you're a broke uni student. Not me, of course, because that's the industry I want to go into. So I'd never do that.
Yeah, no, I've never pirated anything.
No, ever. Especially not software.
No.
Because software is far too hard to pirate, and it's reasonably priced as well. You know, of course Photoshop, I'll pay $2,000 for your software. If Adobe's listening to this, can I get a sponsorship? That'd be great.
Yeah, Adobe. Have you got me on Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay, send me a message because I've got a little secret for you.
You got a little secret for me?
Yeah.
don't make that public.
I know.
Don't make
that
that public.
Bleep that whole like 10 seconds.
yeah. It's just a 10-second.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, I actually ended up paying for Logic like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Because I thought, you know, I wanted the updates and stuff, and so it's not too expensive, I guess. But
you got that big Spotify money now, huh? Buying Logic.
Yeah.
That's a splash out. Some people buy Rolls Royces.
I know.
Brad's out here buying Logic.
£200 for Logic.
Yeah.
Still just using all the Logic plugins and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because of course you can. I guess plugins and stuff are a pretty worthy investment as well, and like you can buy them from your favorite artists and that sort of thing. Pay the artists. Don't stop paying. You know, Apple and pay the artist if you're listening and you're deliberating over which to get. Have you got any favorite plugins?
To be honest, no. Like I said, I do just use a lot of the Logic ones. To be fair, I got the free there's like the Isotope vinyl one, which is nice to play with when you're like, it just adds like a vinyl sort of like warble to whatever you're playing, and that's nice to have fun with. But no, yeah, it's just for me, it's just a lot of EQing and stuff when I'm recording, and like I use some of the guitar pedals on Logic as well, like the whammy and like the wah thing as well.
Yeah, I mean you're the king of distorted guitar as well. Like that's for those getting those vibes. Speaking of guitar, actually, because you were drumming for so long, when did guitar come in? Because you seem quite like a proficient guitarist, you know.
Well, I don't know about that, but I started playing guitar when I was like 13, I think, but I was playing drums a bit earlier than that.
Yeah.
And I always loved drumming, but once I like started writing some songs when I was like 15 or something, then it was just sort of a lot of guitar, you know.
Doesn't sound so good when it's just vocals and drums.
Exactly, yeah. You can't really write a song on the drums. But I do love playing drums, and I played drums for ages, yeah. Especially like in uni, I was playing drums for a couple of people, and then Trudy as well. And through college, I was mainly playing drums in bands and stuff.
Drums is like a funny one, like conceptually, because you can't sustain notes. It's the only instrument where you just can't sustain a note.
Yeah. I do love playing the drums though. I think especially playing in the band Trudy. Yeah. Really taught me how to play and appreciate like playing drums musically. You know, like because a lot of drummers just want to like play the fucking drums like as crazy as they can or whatever. It was nice to learn to like play drums for the song rather than to like be a drummer, you know. And that's why Ringo Starr is the best drummer of all time.
Understated.
He's so underrated, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I have a drumming background as well. Drums was the first instrument that I like actually got to know properly and didn't like ditch after a few years. And I started playing a similar time as you as well. So I guess I'm entering the uni years that you were talking about. So, but yeah, drums is a great instrument. I think it's an interesting one to transition from drums over something more rhythmic like guitar or melodic as well over to guitar, because I think you get a really good sense of rhythm. Like strumming patterns and that sort of thing always come pretty easily, because I feel like when you have that percussive background, you're used to using your hands, you're used to using your feet. It's a full body instrument, drums. You know, it's like every single limb you use.
It's primal.
It's primal. Well, I guess that's where we get the reputation as drummers.
For sure. Yeah, I agree though. Yeah, I was always more of a rhythm guitar. You know, like definitely spend a lot more time playing chords than I ever spent sort of learning how to be a good shredder 6 solo or something, you know.
Yeah.
Although I mean that's rhythmic as well, obviously, but yeah, definitely more like sort of rhythm guitar stuff. I love getting into all the bossa nova stuff as well. That sort of strange guitar rhythms and stuff. Yeah, it's really cool. And I've been listening to a lot of Prince recently, and he uses the guitar like so rhythmically that it's just like he's just so good. Like,
on a different level.
Just little offbeats and like I don't know. I guess that's in a lot of like sort of funky or like soul music and stuff as well. But yeah, Prince is just like insane with that stuff. How he like entwines the drums with the guitars and the bass and stuff, you know, and it becomes this like mad rhythmical melting pot or something, you know. It's really cool.
I have to say, I haven't listened to a lot of Prince. I remember going to Rock Cafe in London, and they had his staff behind where we were eating, and I always thought that's pretty gangster to have a staff.
Yeah,
you know.
I didn't even know that he had a staff, to be honest. But.
Yeah, it's like his glittery. It has like a skull or something on top. I can't remember it very well. It was a while ago, but yeah, they had it up in the Rock Cafe in one of their many cabinets. Got a question for you.
Go on.
We're trying to work it out. OTD stands for what? Is it a secret?
It's a secret.
No.
Yeah, I've never told anybody.
So I can't even know off of air. This is horrible.
No, I've actually
never going to come out.
I've never told any of my friends or anything. No. It's mad because the reason I'm not told anyone is because it's really stupid.
Oh, okay. So you're worried like if you tell them, they'll just be like, oh.
Well, it won't mean anything to anybody.
Yeah.
And it was just like a little, because like I said, I made that song for the girl that I was seeing at the time, and it was like a little in joke between me and her.
That's nice though. Yeah, I guess that's one to keep to yourself.
Yeah, so it's just this stupid. It's like if I told you, you would be like, why? Like what? It would ruin the whole thing, I think. Yeah.
You shouldn't have said that though. You should have been like, oh, it's just a dead deep meaning. Like it's hidden in the lyrics.
It's really not.
If you figure it out and use like a cheat code, use the Enigma code to like break it down.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. It's really bad. So, yeah.
Only timed destinations. That's what it is. You just messaged me that. So now the public knows.
Yeah,
it's out.
If that's what you, yeah.
Only time destinations.
Yeah, I guess it's out there for interpretation.
Whatever it is, that's what it is for you.
Yeah,
maybe.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's kind of nice for me to have something that's like no one will ever know as well.
Yeah, as an artist.
Yeah, I just decided because I was like, I put it on SoundCloud or whatever, and then it started like getting some traction and stuff, and I was like, I can't ever tell anyone what that means because it's too stupid. So yeah, I just decided to like never actually tell anybody.
Love it. Is there anything else like that within like your lyrics or within song titles that it's a secret, you can never know?
Not really, no. I'm not too secretive with that kind of thing in general, I don't think.
Just the one. Maybe some more in the future. Some more acronyms
maybe.
or initialisms and things like that.
Get into some mad like code in the music and stuff.
Yeah. Do a Mac Miller and make like 2 albums into a musical circle. You seen that?
Oh no, what did he do?
He made God, I'm gonna show up my Mac Miller knowledge now. I'm gonna have to search it in Spotify. So he made Circles, was his most recent album. And then before that he had an album called on Spotify, an extremely laggy platform. So he had Circles, and then before that it was Swimming. And so it's Swimming in Circles, and the final song in Swimming, I think this is how it goes. The final song in Swimming kind of loops into the first song or the last song in Circles, and the last song in Circles kind of loops in as well. It's interesting stuff. And then obviously he very, very sadly passed away. So it's kind of a nice thing. Yeah, it's a nice thing to have, because Circles was a post-mortem release as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I'd love to do something like that, but that's the kind of shit you got to plan for like well in advance.
You got to plan it before you die, Well,
it's got
to be and someone's got to know, otherwise you'll die with it and it will never be made.
Yeah.
Although saying like that's really clever and that would take ages to do is exactly what someone who already has made a musical circle would say. So how do we know?
I've definitely I've not done that yet. Maybe next time though.
Yeah, maybe next time. Look out for musical circles. This is an exclusive as well. All Youth Podcast exclusive circles.
You're getting all the exclusives out of me today.
I know. Well, I tried with OTD. Maybe not. I've got the Adobe hack.
Oh yeah.
Out of you. That won't be public though. Otherwise,
No.
lawsuits inbound.
You might already know about it as well. I don't know, but
I might. We'll see. We'll have to see off of there. We don't want to get any smoke. So I was having a look on SoundCloud, and the genre which SoundCloud has labelled you, I don't know if you're aware, is Sexistential Pop.
Well, that's my thing. I kind of.
Oh, did you coin it?
Yeah, I kind of coined it. Yeah. Yeah, it's just something like I've spoke about this on a few interviews and stuff. Like maybe sometimes you'll get asked like what genre would you say you are or whatever. Yeah, so then it's like, well, that was kind of the point of like giving it my own genre,
so that you can do anything.
Well, yeah, because then anything that you do sort of falls under that umbrella, and like I guess Mac DeMarco sort of did the same thing. He used to call his stuff jizz jazz back in the day, and then that was just like his style, and then you've got all these like you start getting kids making like jizz jazz music and stuff. It's like you can't. It's cool that it like influenced stuff, but it's also like that's his thing,
That is the thing. Although I guess he eventually changed up with Here Comes the Cowboy, country vibes and that sort of thing, and then his collaboration recently with, do you know an artist called Benny Sings?
Yes, I heard the song. Yeah, it's like Moving Man or something.
Yes, great song.
Yeah, Mac's all over the collabs at the minute.
He is good for publicity. You seem to not do too many collabs. Is there? Are you planning any, or is there a reason for not doing collabs? Or
well, I guess the only few I've done a couple of like rap songs with a couple of guys. Well, obviously on Eternal Slowdown got But Magic with MC Nelson. He's from Liverpool. Yeah, and then Kinky Arm has Breathing Like a Baby with Raishon Jones, who's from Philadelphia. So I always enjoy doing that kind of thing where sometimes I'll be making a beat or like some music and I'm like, I don't really know what to do with this, but it'd sound great with someone rapping on it,
hand it off to
so
someone.
Yeah, just like sort of, I mean, yeah, I knew Nelson a little bit from Liverpool, and then Raishon, we've like followed each other on Instagram for like a couple of years now, I think. So yeah, that kind of collab is always nice. Someone brings their own like fresh thing to your beat, and then I've done a few more on Kinky Om, but it was hard, like, because obviously with the Rona and everything, like it's always mostly been done online. So I had Galgo playing saxophone on Kinky Om. Had my friend Jo, she played piano on Sat on the Moon, and then I had my friend Katie from uni. She did some like choiry vocals on the song Kinky Om, and Lydia Kitto did some vocals on Kinky Om as well. So
there is I was wrong. There is like a fair bit of collaboration.
Yeah, but
going
I guess never
like
I've never done anything that's like Brad Stank and like the Mac DeMarco Benny Sings thing. Yeah. So you are kind of right as well, but. Yeah, I'm doing a song with this guy Barney Dwyer and this girl Freak Slug. They're doing a little collaborative EP. Don't know if I'm meant to be saying this right now or not. But
probably by the time it's released anyway, it'll be okay.
Yeah, doing a song with them. They're doing like a joint EP, and then I'm trying to do some more collabs on the covers maybe, and on the next album that I'm gonna try and get some people playing on that as well. So it's definitely something I want to try more, but it'd be nice to do it with like real people in real life, at some point. Me and my friend Liam Pizza Girl, at my house the other day, and we made a song, and that was fun. So yeah, I'm gonna try and branch out a little bit into doing more collaborative stuff. I think. It can get a little bit stale, kind of doing everything on your own all the time.
I mean, I look forward to hearing the stuff. Look forward to hearing it. Are there any upcoming tracks or any music planned, any dates being thrown around that we can look forward to?
I don't know. You know, I'm doing a new album this year, but not exactly sure when yet.
Cool.
So I mean, maybe we're thinking maybe September, October, but it's yet to be recorded or anything yet. So kind of see how that goes first.
Stay tuned for 2021 then. Another year, another album.
Yeah, man.
We're pretty much on a roll. I mean, apart from 2019, it's on a roll. Do you see yourself doing that sort of thing? Like every year you work on a new album?
I think so. I mean, especially with all the lockdown stuff, you know, there's not much else to do apart from work on music. So
yeah,
I'd had a good chunk of time off last year after Kinky Om came out, and then started writing a bit more sort of like November last year. But then it's changing a lot all the time as well, so got to sort of figure out which direction it's going in and all that kind of thing, you know. And yeah, but making music all the time anyway, so kind of no need not to put an album out, really, you know. It would be nice at some point to have like a full year off, like not even touch my guitar or something, you know.
Then when you get back to it, you got all that stored up energy to spend on it. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the album release. I'm sure it will be fantastic. Where can people find you?
They can find me absolutely everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere.
YouTube,
boom.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook,
that one as well.
WhatsApp,
numbers in the description.
Telegram,
Carrier Pigeon, Owl,
Snapchat,
yeah.
MySpace,
LinkedIn,
Bumble, Tinder, and Hinge.
Yeah.
Oh no, I deleted my Tinder actually.
Man, you gotta,
not Grindr. I mean,
to be fair, lockdown.
Yeah. That's the reason. Yeah.
Public health concern, sure.
So yeah, everywhere, man, everywhere. Just it's Brad Stank everywhere. Bradstank.com, bradstank8@gmail.com if you want to email me.
Get in contact
with whatever's on your mind.
You'll get emails like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah, I'll reply. I reply to all the emails.
That is very nice. It's very considerate. Yeah, we'll link all your stuff in the description. You can find
and obviously
Spotify, SoundCloud.
Yeah, all those as well.
Listen
all
to the music,
things.
Guys. Listen to the music.
I forgot about the music though.
Forgot I'm a musician then. Listen to the music. Yeah. Link to the description. You'll find Brad's website, all the social media shit. You know where to find him. I will leak his number in the description as well. So if you want to blow up his phone, if you want to hack his phone, call his family, that is fine. You can go ahead and do that.
Family is off limits, but you can call me if you want. I'm so bored. There's nothing going on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for coming on, Brad. It's been a pleasure to chat with you on the All Youth podcast. I'm not chatting on you. Right.
Thanks for having me, man. It's been nice. I've really enjoyed it.
You know what? No worries. Keep on streaming, my people. Buy Brad shit. When Brad goes on tour, go and see him. Go and watch him.
Come see me.
I'll update the links in the description, in the show notes as well. So if anything's going on, if there's a merch line, if there's a tour, whatever, you can find it all down there. Go check it out. And I'll see you in the next episode. Ciao.
How am I still like this? No mate, no side chick, still low key if I'm wearing a high vis. No, never had perfect timing. Lost boy still biting.
That was it. That was the show. Thank you so much for listening. Like I mentioned before, we are on Apple Podcasts, so you can give us a rating over there. That really, really does help the show. Helps other people like yourself find it. If you'd like to write to the show, then please do. It's allyouthpodcast@gmail.com. That's ALLYOUTHPODCAST@gmail.com. Our show music is supplied by both Archie and Mr. Harvey Graham. You can find their links in the show notes. As always, my name is Luther, your host. You can find me on Instagram at LutherMEB, LUTHERMEB. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the All Youth Podcast. Cheers, have a good day, and I'll see you next time.